Chapter 1: The End of the Great Gun. In a small county in Hebei, a place that takes a long time to find on the map, she looked through the car window at the night market covered in dust and stains. The bustling crowd could be heard from far away. The aroma of poppy seeds wafted from the hot restaurants lining the streets. The owner of the barbecue stall was greasy-faced, and people passing by wrapped themselves tightly in coats as they navigated through the thick smoke. Cramped, rigid, cold, and rough. The illusion of places like Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou portrayed the country, but the truth was in small towns like this. A woman had heard similar words before, but she had never truly understood them. This was probably her last chance. She sighed and said, "We'll hear, Wen Bai. Let's get out of the car." The wind was strong in the north. The woman was wrapped in a large windbreaker, hiding her figure. Behind her was a man in his 30s, standing tall and straight, with a name Kuke. They walked into a rundown audio and video store one after the other. This dismal profession was quite rare nowadays. Old-fashioned TVs were slightly moldy, and the young Zhu Wei was belting out his lungs on the greenish screen. It coincided with the lyrics. "What you have is your body, your moving beauty. What I have is my memory. Wonderful feeling." The lyrics were quite explicit. Piles of martial arts novels were scattered everywhere, including works by Liu Yaxin, Gu Long, and Ni Kuang. There were also various colored records and videos from the late 20th century in a worn-colored glass cabinet, along with some pixelated and even black and white old photos. Charlie Robin, Roman Tam, and Alan Tam were facing each other with microphones, next to which was a sign for the 1984 Space Journey concert. Old posters on the wall Rouge Rouge, with Mei Yun Fang dressed as a man, her neck and eyebrows as light as smoke. "What can I get you?" The voice was clear and gentle, not at all like a rough northern man. What surprised people was that although the store looked so outdated, the owner was a tall and thin young man who looked no older than 25. He was wearing a black t-shirt, and his complexion was pale. "Are you Mr. Li Yan?" the woman asked with a smile. "Ah, I am." The girl in front of him, wrapped in a windbreaker, had a high and straight nose, shallow eye sockets, and beautiful features, giving off a hero aura. She exuded a sense of sharpness. Li Yan glanced suddenly at the silent man with the crook behind the girl and replied, "I am a director of the Chinese Martial Arts Association, coming from Guangdong. My name is Lei Jing, and Lei Hongsheng was my grandfather." The woman revealed a set of white teeth. "In terms of seniority, I should call you senior brother." She shook hands with Li Yan, her grip warm and firm. Li Yan's eyes seemed to be covered with a thin layer of dust, and a glimmer of light appeared only when he heard the name Lei Hongsheng. "Oh, please, have a seat. It's a small place. Please forgive us." The woman gracefully sat down on a nearby chair, quietly scrutinizing Li Yan. Although her family had photos of her grandfather and this man from earlier times, it was difficult to associate the sharp and unruly young man in the photo with the owner of this audio and video store. "My grandfather often mentioned senior brother. He always praised you, saying you were the most talented person he had ever met. The man turned to get a thermos, asking as he poured water, "Is your grandfather still in good health?" The woman's eyes lowered. "He passed away before the new year." Li Yan's hand was steady, not a drop of water spilled. He put down the thermos and looked deeply at the woman. "Is there something I can help you with?" The woman pursed her lips and said, "I hope senior brother Li can come with me to Guangdong and serve as an advisor to the association." Li Yan raised an eyebrow and said, "I am who I am. Miss Lei, I believe you heard of my reputation. Frankly speaking, in the martial arts world, the name Li Yan is notorious. Why do you think I can help you?" Lei Jing fell silent for a moment, then smiled and said, "Rather than saying notorious, it's better to say infamous. Perhaps those people won't respect you, but they will definitely fear you." Li Yan couldn't help but laugh. "It sounds reasonable. Unfortunately, you've come too late." He picked up his cup. "Miss Lei, have you heard of AML? Do you know what it means?" Lei Jing was stunned for a moment, and then a shadow crossed her face. She tentatively said, "Acute myeloid leukemia." Li Yan took a sip of water. "I was diagnosed with this disease a month ago. Your grandfather knows that I have no family or relatives." He smiled. "So, I'm afraid I can't help you." The woman looked at her nails for a moment before saying bitterly, "The medical conditions in the South are much better than here. I also know some well-known foreign doctors. Leukemia isn't incurable. Even a senior brother doesn't have siblings. It's entirely possible to find a match in bone marrow." She raised her head, and her whole demeanor became more aggressive. "Maybe my visit this time has put senior brother in a difficult situation, but..." Lei Zhen carefully chose her words. "The association was my grandfather's lifelong effort. I can't just stand by and watch it become a tool for politicians or profit." "You mentioned politicians," Li Yan suddenly interrupted her, raising the teacup and drinking. He smiled at the woman, and a hint of wickedness appeared on him. "Why is it that when the association is in your hands, it's not a power play? Can you tell me the difference between you and those politicians you despise?" Li Yan's words were very rude, causing the man with the cool cut to furrow his brows. The woman's face remained calm, explaining calmly, "My grandfather founded the Chinese Martial Arts Association with his own hands. I started dealing with the association's affairs when I was 16. No one understands it better than I do, and no one loves it more than I do." Li Yan shook his head, putting down his cup. "When I shook hands with Miss Lei just now, your hands were very soft. Haven't practiced martial arts, have you?" The woman tightened her lips. "I've always been in poor health since I was a child, and the kung fu at home is overbearing. So I only practice some breathing exercises for nourishing the breath." So Li Yan lowered his head, suddenly changing the topic. "Miss Lei, do you like reading martial arts novels?" Lei Jing was a bit confused by the question. She tried to answer, "Jinyang." Lang Shi, Zhuan Han Qiang. The woman clearly didn't understand what Li Yan meant, but the man with the crew cut next to her narrowed. His eyes. "In any case, I, with my current condition, really have no spare energy to help you. Thank you for your kindness. If both of you would like to stay for a meal, I've made dumplings. If not, please feel free to leave. Also, please light incense for my grandfather on your way out. At this point, there was obviously no need to continue the conversation. After a long while, Lei Jing stood up silently, but instead of leaving immediately, she took out a business card and placed it on the table under Li Yan's gaze. She said, many people have told me how domineering Li Yan is, but they could never imagine what senior brother looks like now. Li Yan tilted his head, not saying a word. But my grandfather has always admired you, always. Do you know how he used to describe you? Lei Jing stared straight at the man, imitating her grandfather's tone. A martial artist should nurture a hint of malice in his heart. In my life, I've met many young people, but only this guy is neither too much nor too little, cultivating just the right amount of malice. Regardless of whether senior brother accepts my request or not, I sincerely hope that the malice in senior brother's heart remains. After saying that, Lei Jing turned around and left with the middle-aged man. Li Yan sat blankly for a while, then bent over and drank the 2 cups of hot water. Then he chuckled. What a remarkable girl! He picked up a tissue and wiped his nose, not caring about the bright red on the paper, casually tossing it aside. He lay down on the sofa.